Nicholas Sparks has sold more than 90 million books in more than 45 languages.
And then there's the movies that have been made out of his love stories. His latest novel, The Best of Me, is already on its way to the big screen, and Nicholas Sparks joins us live now. Great to have you with us, Nicholas.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.
It is incredible, your body of work, so extensive. And when you sit down, the question is, do you think about it? I mean, do you think, can I see this on the big screen? How is this going to play out when you put characters in front of it?
Yeah, I do. I mean, let's be honest, because I do end up selling a lot, especially with this latest one. You know, the Best of Me, for instance. I actually ended up selling that on a pitch. I hadn't written a word of the novel yet. I just kind of...
Is that scary when you haven't written and you're like, oh, here's a great idea, but I haven't written it yet?
Exactly, it was, because then all of a sudden I feel this extra weight of really trying to come up with a great story, which the novel ended up becoming The Best of Me. But I just kind of had this vague idea, and I kind of laid it out, and they said, oh, okay, we'll take it. And I'm like, okay, great. This is just terrific news.
Let me get to work.
Yeah, let me get to work and make sure that it all works out. But yeah, you do want to think about the film, because one of the things I try to do is, even though love is a very, everyone's written about, it's been written about forever, it seems like, you want to be very original. You don't want to do something that has been done in a film. Like, for instance, I would never do a love story set on the Titanic, because that was a big film. And so you want to strive for originality. So you think of what you want to do, which might make a good film, and what films that you don't want to say, hey, he just copied that.
And you've said no to certain ideas before, because you just, listen, that's either been done before.
Oh, absolutely.
It won't fly.
Yeah, look, I mean, I'll cut 10,000 ideas, 9,999 no's, and a lot of them are for just that reason, because you do want to be original and interesting and universal all at the same time.
Tell me about The Best of Me.
The Best of Me, it's a good story. I like it. It's a reunion story. It's about a couple that falls in love in high school. Of course, they're from different sides of the track, and he's actually not just like Noah and Allie in The Notebook. He's not just poor, but I mean, literally, he's from a family of criminals, but he's different. Well, it doesn't work out in high school, but 25 years they're reunited at the funeral of an old friend. And 25 years is a long time. You know, she's now married, she's got 3 kids, but she's unhappily married. Meanwhile, he has never gotten over her. And you're kind of at that what-if stage of life. And so, well, let's throw this into the pot and see what happens.
Something that probably a lot of people can relate to.
That was the hope.
The Notebook is going to Broadway now.
Yes.
What is it like to, your baby is your book, and you write this thing, you have total control over it. What's it like to then see someone else take a little control, whether it's in the movies or on Broadway, and see it then perform live? Yeah,
you know, and it's interesting to be very frank. You know, we're still a time out. You know, we're in the development of this process. But the best way that I've always found, and it's what I've done in Hollywood, or whether it's working with the publishers that I've worked with for a long time, it's to work with people that you really trust, who understand what it's about, and they want to take that and then mold it into something new. And so obviously The Notebook is going to be some sort of musical, and that it's a lot of fun to be getting involved in that process too.
Who do you want to play the lead roles in the musical?
Gosh, I don't know. Someone who can sing.
You've thought about it though, haven't you?
No, we're not even to that stage. You know, actually, the next thing we're casting would be for Safe Haven, which is a film that starts in March, of course, and then we'll turn my attention to the next cast, would probably be The Best of Me, and then The Notebook musical.
What movie do you like the best?
Boy, that's a tough question. You know, I think that I've been very fortunate that all of them have. I like them all for very different reasons. You know, the Message in a Bottle was the first one. You know, I remember it was the weirdest experience. I'm getting ready to head to Christmas Eve Mass, and the phone rings, and I answer it. And he says, Nicholas Sparks. I see it. He goes, hey, this is Kevin Costner, which is a very odd experience when you're 30 years old, and you're like, hey, Kev, right? You know, at that point in time. So you have different wonderful memories with each, and.
You talked that you kind of think topically, that you're looking at a love story, but you're thinking what hasn't been done yet. Is there a type of love story or an area, type of context that you would love to set your next story in?
Yes, and that's what I'm working on right now, you know, and it's really a 6-step process that I go through to come up with those kinds of stories, but and I'd never, of course, say anything about what I'm working on.
You're not going to tell us what you're working on
next? The breaking news. I could tell you that The Lucky One's coming out in April, and it's fabulous. I've seen that film. It's just awesome. I could say that, but I'm a man of ideas. I can't just give them out.
All right.
Because someone might come along and
Carefully
steal them.
protecting
Yes, exactly.
Is there a concern about that?
There's a concern about the ideas because good ideas are very easy, but ideas that are big and broad enough to be a good novel and film are actually kind of hard to come up with.
All right.
Nicholas Sparks, thanks for
Great
coming by,
stuff.
sir. Happy holidays
Thank
to you.
you.
Thank you, thank you.
We'll see you again soon.